Rise and shine with Dr. Nina. This is your breakfast show. Giving glory to the Father. Get your day on the go. Wake up with Dr. Nina. Get your word and your prayer. Giving thanks unto the Father. That's how we'll start our day. Rise and shine. Wake up with Dr. Nina. Rise and shine. Wake up with Dr. Nina. Rise and shine. Wake up with Dr. Nina. Rise and shine. Wake up with Dr. Nina.
Rise and shine. I know that you are up. I hope that you are up. Are you ready for Wake Up with Dr. Nina Testimony Thursdays? I am Carrie, a daughter of Dr. Nina, and as usual, I'm really excited to be here today. You know, we just finished our Esther Mentorship program. This is one of the programs that is spearheaded by Dr. Nina, and this morning, even as I woke, I was reminded of every single thing that God has placed on the inside of leaders, on the inside of Dr. Nina, for people, for women, for girls, for boys. So I want you to connect to every single program, everything that is happening here, but don't let me go too fast forward. It's just that I'm so excited. So I honor this platform. I honor Dr. Nina. She is my spiritual mother, and it's truly an honor to be here today on this beautiful Thursday morning. Let me jump right into my testimony, okay? So I want to read a scripture here for you. I'm going to paraphrase it in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, and it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and I sanctify you. I ordained you as a prophet towards the nations." I want to pause there for a moment. So God anointed Jeremiah as a prophet to the nations, but what did he ordain you to do? What is your purpose? What is the reason for why you were created? What is the assignment that God has placed you to do? So today, the topic is actually called but not qualified. God qualifies those who he called. You know, over a decade ago, 2 decades probably, I was working at a hardware store, and I was there for 7 years. I had a really amazing boss, and when I look back, the only thing that I can think about is how the favor of God was upon my life. So I was working there, not on the particular path God ordained for me, but I was being processed. So I am there working in the store, have one CXC, and oftentimes people will come to the workplace and ask, "Why are you here?" It's as though they could see that I am here in the physical, but they're discerning that I should be someplace else. Some of them asked me to come and work for them, but my boss was I was so loyal to him. He was such a good boss. Yes, I got away with a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise in other workplaces, but it is a place where I was able to grow. Customers would come here in Christchurch. Customers would come from St. Lucie, and they would say, "I just came here to see you, to give you the sale." And before, I used to think it was my personality. What was there about me? But now I know it was the favor of God that was upon my life. So fast forward into the story. They would come and they would encourage me to study, to go back to school, to do something. Now, I was a woman with already 2 children. I'm not thinking about, and I was kind of in a comfortable space, but I wanted more. So I go back to study, and I got, at that point in time, I only had 1 CXC. So I added 4 more to that. And I decided within myself, after talking to all of these great men and seeing who they are, and they have all of these different estates, and then they're speaking to me and making me see something about myself that I didn't know. So there already, you can see that I did not know my value. I did not know who I was. Fast forward some more. So I got the CXCs back within 2 years. I did 3, and then I did 2 more. And one day I decided let me go and sign up for the university. I go and sign up for the university, and I'm talking to my friend on the phone one day because I always like a lot of jokes. I always took a lot of risks. And I said to her, I'm going to sign up for school meals at the school meals department so that I could leave work at a particular time, go and do my studies, and I would get some more money. So we decided we're going to do this thing together. I want you to see at every point that God was in the midst, and he qualifies those who he called according to his purpose. So I don't know, maybe you are on a path right now that you're not supposed to be on, but by the end of this testimony, I am hoping that you begin to think of yourself and who God called you to be before he formed you in the womb. So I go to school meals, 5 CXCs only, okay? And the lady at the school meals department, the administrator, she asked me, so why are you signing up for school meals? You don't want to teach? And I said, me? I could teach. Because once again, I am thinking quick and fast way to do an easy job, to leave work by 3 and to study at the same time. So I was willing to go and do school meals. I thought that I would have enjoyed the job interacting with the students. So I signed up and I go back to work the very next day. And there's one of my customers who was very dear to me, an older man, and we will always have these wonderful conversations. And there was this particular course that was happening at Erdeston. Now, at that time, my sister was already a teacher. She was doing this course called Induction to Teaching. And I'm talking to him, and it came up somehow, and the class was about to start within the next month. And I told him about it, but you had to be a teacher at the point in time to get into the course. So I'm talking to him, and he asked me, you want to do the course? And I looked at him. He said, Carrie, you want to do the course or not? No, I know you had to be a teacher. I'm showing you favor. I'm showing you God charting the path. I'm showing you the angels of the Lord going before us. I'm showing you God making a way when there seemed to be no other way. I am showing you the plans that God have for us are not the plans that we have for ourselves. So I said, yes, I would do the course. Now, that meant that I had to resign from my job from 7 years, but I was willing to take the risk to do this particular course. Long story short, he made the phone call. I got into that course, and I am part of the program, feeling good about myself. And the course was only 1 month, so it was a big risk. So what if after the course, because obviously when you're teaching, you have to wait on an assignment. You have to be qualified. Now, I'm not qualified. I have 5 CXCs, 1 grade 1. I just want to put that there for you. I have 5 CXCs at the point in time, 1 grade 1. And I'm a part of the course with all the teachers. And I remember one day we were having this particular class, and we were sitting in a horseshoe, and my phone rang. And I look at the phone, and at that point in time, and I want you to know, guys, at that point in time, I was not a Christian. I was not in church as yet. And I look at my phone, and I went, somebody was calling me from a private number. I am not responding to this private number. Who's calling me from a private number to offset my credit, to kill my credit? So the girl that is sitting across from me in the horseshoe, I don't know her, she does not know me. However, we probably interacted at some point in time in the next 2 weeks. She saw my facial expression, and she did like this to me from sitting across the other side. Pick up your phone. She was listening to me, pick up your phone, because we were in a class. And I was like, pick up my phone? How she knows that somebody called me? What's this call? So the phone rang again, and I go outside. And I responded to the call, and it was the Ministry of Education calling me for an interview. I mean, when I think about it and I replay in my mind about God's goodness and God's mercy and how He sets us up, how He qualifies those that He calls according to His purpose, it amazes me every time. So I get the interview. So this is in August, this is summer, and by September, October, I had my first teaching assignment. No, the testimony does not end there. Remember, I'm unqualified, but this is God speaking to me, saying that before I called you, I anointed you for a purpose. You do not know the purpose, but I know the purpose. I want you to discover yourself with me. I want you to partner yourself with me. So within a year or two, I met Dr. Thomas, and I remember coming to church and receiving the prophecy, and he said to me, at that point in time, my assignment had ended, and he said to me, you know, God has anointed you, and I see all of these children around you, all of these children, and you are going to bless the children. The children are going to come to you with joy. They're going to receive Christ with so much happiness. They're going to want what you have. And at that moment, I didn't understand it. And then I go in, soon after I had an assignment again, and I go into the school. I am the religious and social studies teacher. And at that moment, it's like this love for the children is happening. This love for me from the children, and likewise, it's like we were in tandem. It was a dance. And these children, from the time I enter the classroom, from the time I say the name Jesus, these children were running to me, receiving Jesus with joy. I could not understand it. That year, the entire school was saved. That year, and I remember going to Dr. Thomas, and I said to him, but why was it so easy to, and he explained to me that it was my assignment. It was the grace that God placed on my life. And even to reinforce it more, I remember Dr. Peter Morgan being here, and we're in the line and we're waiting prophecies, and everybody at the point of time is getting this great prophecy. So that I thought, you know, I'm very immature and I'm looking to hear something else from God. And when he got to me, he said, bless the children and you will be blessed. And I'm like, huh? So my destiny and who I am, the path that God has for me, is connected to these youth. It's connected to these children. I have something for them. So all of a sudden, I started to realize that my job was not just a job, but I was on assignment. It's a purpose. Is to help them in the areas that they're weak. And if there's one thing, because these students, they take on the personality of their teacher, and all of my students, in one way or the other, they're just like me. They're very loving. They're very helpful. They're always willing to help. And I remember having my own thoughts still, my own plans. Remember, the plans God has for us is to prosper us even when we are on the wrong path. And I said to my colleagues, because remember, I'm still not a trained teacher, I'm not qualified, and I said to them, very big mouth, well, I'm only going to stay in this profession for 5 years. This is just foundation for where God is taking me. I am not going to do that teaching course. I didn't like studying. I didn't like reading. And one day God gave me a dream, because he knows us so well. Do you know that he knows your secret thoughts? He knows the things that you don't say to other people. He knows the things that you wrestle with in your heart that you don't want to tell to even your dearest friend. He knows your desires, and he showed me this dream because he knew that I didn't want to be a failure. And he showed me, do the course. During the course, I'm going to send help. This was the dream. And he showed me people that he was saying help. And I did the course and I received a lot of help, a lot of grace. The favor of God was upon my life and was 3 marks away. I'm still upset about that, from a double distinction in my teaching course, to be trained as a teacher. And that is my testimony for you today, that God brought me from where I was. Remember, God brought David from the backside of the desert. He put people in place to anoint us. He placed people there to speak to our lives. He placed people there to speak to the king and to the queen on the inside of us. So whereas you may be thinking of yourself and seeing yourself very, very small, you want to go to a place where you just want to serve, but God has called you to be president, to be assistant to the president. God has called you to be executive. God has been asking you to step out and open your own business. God has been asking you to do all of these wonderful things with the gifts that he has placed on the inside of you, but you're fearful and you're comfortable being in that same place. You are afraid that if you move, you will fail. You are afraid that if you move, you will not receive any help, or the favor of God will be removed from you. But I want you to know today that God qualifies the called. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter where you are at this current moment. He would change your status from the very, very bottom, and he would bring you to the top. But I want you to know today that you need to trust the process. You need to trust in his will and his way, and have faith that the same God that can do it for me, the same God that moved me from a place where I was in ignorancy, where there was a veil over my life, and he lined me up with each and every person that I needed. Now, it was not personality. You know, oftentimes we would say, oh, they like me because I am friendly. No, it was the favor of God upon my life, according to his purpose, according to his assignments, that before he formed me in my mother's womb, when he sent me, he said, this is going to be Carrie, and she is going to be this, she is going to be that, she is going to be anointed to do these things. So I ask you today that even as we leave this program, I want you to ponder, what did God speak to you? Where can you see him pulling you to? Where can you see yourself going? What is that dream that he has been showing you that you just rested in the book and you closed the book because you don't see how it would come to pass? Today, begin to speak to God. Even as you begin your day, ask him again, Lord, what is your plan and your purpose for my life? I receive the grace of favor. I receive the grace of favor in Jesus' name. Have a wonderful day. Go in peace. Go with the presence of God, and may you fulfill your purpose and connect to all those partners that you need along the way. Thank you for listening today. Remember to share with your friends, with your loved ones. Share with the youth, somebody that you feel will be impacted. And subscribe to Dr. Nina. There is Wake Up with Dr. Nina. There's a triumph of amazing content here for you.